Hello students. So we're discussing about the physiology of flowering chapter. In the last chapter we discussed of the vernalizations, its mechanisms, work done by various scientists. So we are continuing that point again. Mechanism of vernalizations of the hormonal theories. The one of the scientists that is a Purvis OP, British physiologist proposed different schemes of flowering in cereals. It is a ray one we can say example. So this scientist or she proposed the following schemes which involves proper photo periods of light and cold temperature for initiations of flowering. In the diagram you can see the bee is a compound of reaction system that leads to flowering. The reaction system from B to D is controlled by photoperiod and leads to the production of floral hormones, that is D. So B is produced from A at cold temperature and gets accumulated in abundance. So this under long day conditions B is slowly converted to C and C is rapidly converted to D. So D is the flowering hormone, so it reaches to a critical stage that ensures flowering. Thus in this scheme the compound B leads to the synthesis of floral hormone C or D under proper photoperiod. So the conversion of B to E happens in day neutral flowering plants. So these are the, you can say, mechanisms of hormonal theories which are proposed by the Purvi is one of the scientists, British scientists. The next, that is a site of perceptions of low temperatures. So chilling or we can say low temperature is perceived by the shoot apical meristem and the surrounding young leaves of the plant. So during this presence of mature leaves, endosperms and other storage organs are required to establish cold sensitivity to shoot and root apices. So recently many workers of the Venn scientists have been proved that not the organ but the presence of very actively dividing cells is must for perceptions of the cold temperature. Okay. So next, that is the cold induction techniques. So the cold induction technique of vernalization is very simple one. The following steps are being followed. So the seeds, the first step, that is the seeds are soaked in the water and are allowed to germinate for some time. Then give the low temperature treatment for appropriate period of time which varies from species to species. Okay, so the general range of temperature is 40 to 70 degrees Celsius, while the time of cold treatment is varying from few days to many weeks. The seed should not be immediately sown after treatment. So the vernalization of a dry seed is not possible in this. So the oxygen requirement for vernalization is absolute, and for vernalization respiratory energy is necessary one. So these are the techniques of cold induction. Next are the applications of vernalizations. So this vernalization shorten the vegetative period of plants and is harvested much earlier. So the vernalization increases the yield of crop plants, which removes wrinkleness of the grains and also enables to obtain flowering out of seasons, and thus plant breeding work can be accelerated. So whereas winter is very severe in countries like Russia, vernalization has a great importance in the particular countries. By using advantages of vernalizations, crop plants uh, could be made to escape from harmful effects of severe winters. Vernalization it also helps to increasing cold resistance. So according to the Russian scientist, vernalization increases the resistance of plants fungal diseases. So according to Kerr and Adhikari in 1940, they are the scientists. Uh, they are showing pre-sowing high temperature conditions appears to induce early flowering in number of varieties. So this helps to save crop from flood and drought conditions. So the plant breeding work can be accelerated. and the plants can be cultivated in places where they naturally do not grow. So these are the some applications of vernalizations. Now devernalizations, what does it mean? So it means the removal of vernalization effect. So vernalized plant is kept at high temperature, and then effect of low temperature treatment is completely removed. Okay, so the chilling treatment is completely removed and the high temperature is applied. So during devernalizations, the product formed during low temperature treatment is destroyed before it is converted to stable form. So the degree of devernalizations decreases if the duration of cold temperature treatment has been longer duration. So the devernalized plant can be vernalized again by subsequent giving the cold treatment. So these are the devernalizations, which is by can be done by giving a high temperature. Okay, and again it can be devernalized by providing a cold treatment. So basically these are the chapters. We are finished with this physiology of flowering. Thank you very much.